This is my process for contacting parents and documenting those contacts and setting up appointments. So first thing I do is I send an email to my parents inviting them to have an appointment with me to talk more about the telehealth platform for mentoring. I tend to do this first rather than call just because I'm more comfortable in that format, but you can also call. I do call if parents do not respond to my email. Then I will call them and ask if this is a good time to talk. And if so, I will follow Colleen's script and talk about the CHADS mentoring program. So one of the things that I use besides Colleen's script, one of the things that I use when I am talking about the platform is I want to talk about the consent form because I let parents know that the reason the consent form is as large as it is because the school, we are no longer have the safety net of the school. So the parents and I have to come to an agreement and an understanding of all the things that we're going to do to ensure the safety and well-being of their child at all times. And so that really helps them to be more patient with the process. And then I go through the consent form with the parents, usually while the parents are looking at it. So although I don't tend to send the consent form out with my original email, although you can do that, I send the consent form out to the parents. Once we've agreed upon when the meeting is, I will send that consent form out as part of that invitation. I also will send out my doxy.me link in case if the parent and I would agree to meet in the video format. So what I've done here with this form is I've just taken some notes, underlined some things that I think are important, and taken some notes for myself. So I've got this in a printed out version, and I go through it with the parent, sort of the whole consent in brief. Once I've had the conversation and I am ready to set up the appointment with the child, I have to document these conversations with my parent. Now, you can certainly do this in a notebook or in any format that you're comfortable with. I personally just like doing it on a spreadsheet. And so I will put the information about my client, their school, their parent, how I contacted the parent, who they are, and also the dates and times of the conversations. So as you can see, the email was shorter and the phone conversation was longer because that's the one where I went through all of the safety plan and all of the consent with the parent. Once I have that information, then I need to document it in Theranest. So to document in Theranest, the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to find my client. And for this particular client, once I find the client, I'm going to schedule an appointment. So if I've talked to the parent, then the service type is case management, and the location is the name of the school followed by mentoring. I'm just adding a random one here, but always the name of the school followed by mentoring will always be your location, no matter what service type you are adding, whether it's case management or whether it's actual mentoring. So then you will make your appointment and save it. If you are meeting with the child and it's mentoring, you will not have case management. You will have telebehavioral health followed by mentoring. Notice that I can X out or add things, but I only always have one service type. So once I've had the service type, we'll go back to case management. I set my appointment. And then once I have my appointment, I put the correct times and dates. I didn't do it that time. Then I go to the agenda. And then from the agenda, I will add a progress note. So to add a progress note for case management, I just need to make sure the time is right. And then the platform will be the telehealth platform. And then the note I need to add is just a detailed note in session focus of what was discussed at the meeting with the parent. If I am doing a case note for mentoring, then I do the suicidality, homicidality, and then session focus, therapeutic intervention, and planned intervention. And remember, there was a document from our last meeting with a suggestion on how to do that more detailed session focus and intervention notes. Those are the things that will take longer. So your notes are going to take longer in Theranest. Now, one of the other things that I accomplished at my parent meeting is hopefully getting that consent form back. And I have to do that before I can start seeing the student. So when you get the consent form back, you are going to temporarily store it in a folder on your computer, and you'll delete it once you have uploaded the file. Some parents are able to handle signing a PDF file without any assistance from you. They'll either scan it and sign it, or they will know how to do it on their computer. If they don't, then remember there is a shortcut to some free PDF sign processes that I will share with you for those of you who are struggling with that. So assume you have your signed PDF file back. Now, one of the things that you'll need to do is you'll need to upload it to Theranest. So what you'll do is you will find your client, and then you will look for the General Documents tab. And then I've already got one uploaded, but I'll just upload one again. And then what you'll do is you will upload the file, which means that you'll find it and add it to General Documents. So that is the process for uploading a file. So that's the additional step in Theranest that you need to take, and the file needs to be in there before you can get started. If you have any questions at all on this process, do not hesitate to ask. Thanks.